How come it says Tream on the screen?
How come it says what?
Are we on?
You are now.
We're live.
Oh, we're live.
Yes.
We were just talking about who's going to go to the bathroom first.
It's probably going to be me. Usually I go to the bathroom much more often than you during the day. And I was just on an hour-long call, so there was no break time.
Facts.
Welcome to the live stream. So today we are going to start off. Larry and I are going to be talking about creating careers for coaches in the gym, what the benefit of that is for the gym owner, for the coach, and especially for the member. Then we're going to get into bringing Annie Miller, who's our special guest today. Annie Miller is going to be coming on and joining us and talking about all things fitness, business, and fitness in general. I don't even know where she is in the world. She could still be in Mexico right now.
Vancouver, Washington.
Is that where she is now? Mm-hmm. Is that where she lived?
If I was listening, that's where she is.
Well, did you ask her where she lived or where she is?
That's where she is.
Okay.
It's a temporary thing. She's waiting for lumber prices to go down.
I understand.
She's like,
okay.
But no, you're not on yet.
Well, I just know that she's been moving around a lot. Anyway, so we'll talk about that. Then we're going to go into the gym. And great news is Larry dropped on me that today I'm going to be the coach in the gym, demonstrating proper movement and cueing as a coach so that you can see how word economy can benefit your coaching staff and your members.
You think everyone knows what that gesture was, by the way?
I think that they have an idea.
Okay.
Why don't you tell them?
For those of you who don't, it's playing a sad song on a violin. For the.
How big is your violin?
It's a violin. It's a viola.
There's
what it
a
is.
cello.
It's a viola.
Picked up a cello. The other, and also, why is that the sign for sad music? Well,
I would go bagpipe, right?
Yeah.
But how do you?
I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, subscribe to the channel. Give us a like. Make sure you're commenting. Any questions that you have the entire time, we're happy to answer. Mm-hmm. So let's get into it, Larry. Is it the gym owner's responsibility? And is it to the gym owner's benefit? Because I think that if it's to their benefit, it is their responsibility. If it's not to their benefit, then it's a wishy-washy maybe. Mm-hmm. To create career opportunities for the coaches who work in their gym.
Mm-hmm. To answer both of your questions at the same time, whether it is or it is not to their benefit, it is the gym owner's responsibility, in my opinion, and I believe yours too, to make sure that it is abundantly clear for all parties involved what the opportunities are.
Mm-hmm. So when you say that, you're talking about the gym owner needs to be transparent. And by the way, we didn't rehearse this before.
They couldn't tell.
The gym owner needs to be transparent with the staff about these are the possibilities of what life could be like if you commit to working here.
Exactly correct.
Okay, so I'm in the same camp. And here's where I go a little bit further, I think, than you do. Let's take, for example, a gym owner who says to a staff member, look, it doesn't matter how well you do, it doesn't matter how hard you work, what kind of education you get, there is no career path for you as a trainer, and definitely not here. What I think that does is, even if the trainer decides it's okay, this is just an in-between job, I'm trying to figure things out, just graduated college, I might want to be a lawyer, a doctor, a garbage man, whatever, it's just a timely thing. What that does is it stunts the growth of what the fitness industry could be. Because people don't accidentally become doctors after 7 years of education. People don't accidentally become astronauts for NASA. Like, these are things that people dedicate their lives to doing. And so we get the best, the brightest, the most dedicated, the most committed people to doing those jobs. If we don't ask the same of fitness professionals, then we're stuck with the fitness entertainment industry that we're supposed to believe is good enough.
So when we create a situation in which it's the belief and the expectation and the worldview of the fitness industry that there is no legitimate career opportunity here, you can't create the kind of meaningful income that you're looking for that allows you to live the lifestyle that you want, that allows you to retire from this, that allows you to start a family and buy a house. If that doesn't exist, no one or far fewer people are going to want to go all in on putting in the time and the sweat and the blood and the tears that go into becoming world class.
It won't be worth it. It won't be worth it. You know, people in fitness and just really in fitness have a really hard time understanding that I can both help somebody and earn a really satisfying income in a really fulfilling amount of time, doing really inspiring work all at the same time. There's a gap there. It's almost like we believe as an industry that if I'm going to help somebody, I can't charge them. And if I charge them, it's got to be for the amount of time I spend. Because if I work with someone for 30 minutes, obviously I can't charge them as much as if I worked with them for an hour. Not true.
Shouldn't they be paying more?
Yeah,
you can help
because
them in less time?
think about it this way. If I said to you that the problem that you have, I'm going to be able to solve it in 10 weeks. The goal you wanted to hit, you're 10 weeks away from that goal. I'm going to work with you for 30 minutes a week. That's it. So 5 total hours. It's going to cost you $1,000. Larry, this is a likely scenario given our prowess, says to you, I can solve that same problem for you. I need to work with you for 2 hours a week, and it's going to take us 2 years. That means, step your skills up.
Brutal.
104 weeks, 2 hours a week. I'm solving your problem in 5 hours. Larry's solving your problem in 208. We're both charging you for time. Let's say we're both charging you $100 an hour. I'm $500. Larry's $20,800. Who are you working with? What if we both said we cost the same thing? I'm $20,800. He's $20,800. But in my case, you get your results in 10 weeks, spending only a half an hour a week. In Larry's case, it takes 2 years, 2 hours a week. Who are you working with for the same price?
Not me.
Not Larry. Not if you believe that both are going to be able to get you the same results. So of course, say we guarantee it. You're hiring me. As they should. Yeah. So the point I'm making with this is stop selling time. Start selling solutions. If gym owners understood this, if coaches in gyms understood this, then we would have an industry where gym owners understand it is their responsibility to create career opportunities for the people who dedicate their lives to working in their business.
Well, this is all predicated on the understanding that there are different kinds of problems that gym owners and coaches can be solving. And people are going to find different kinds of solutions and different kinds of services more or less valuable.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of things that they can do for free with an app and a lot of things that only a coach can do for someone that an app can't provide.
Totally.
And for people who have problems that requires a coach to solve, it's clearly a more expensive solution. And so if gym owners and coaches decide that they want to be the kind of professional, the kind of facility that provides solutions that people can't find for free somewhere else, then they can start exploring what kind of opportunities exist for gym owner and coach alike.
Yeah. And the benefit to members of all of this is people want to buy things that are valuable. Nobody wants to buy something that is worth throwing away. So the way to make something valuable in the gym is to create a service that can't be matched on Apple Fitness from their living room. The only way to do that is to provide a high quality fitness experience inside of the gym that solves specific problems in a specific way that is different for each person who comes into that place.
So if there are 10 gyms in the same town and someone is shopping around and walks into all of them and says, what makes you guys different? And they say, oh, well, our coaching here is amazing. And they all give that answer. There has to be something that's differentiating.
Well, our coaching it's better.
Got it. So that's what the other 9 said. What's better about
Well,
yours?
ours really is.
Got it. And so people need to ultimately understand the difference in what they're going to get from that better coaching.
Yeah. And once they do, the gym who offers the most valuable solution will be able to charge the most and will get the most members and will last the longest. The constant pushback that I hear from this on gym owners is, what if our staff gets really good and we pay our staff really well, and then somebody opens a gym down the block and offers similar things for less money than we do? Similar things. It's your job to lean on the success that you've had if you're doing it really well, and to allow people go try the other place. One of my favorite things to do when I was owning gyms is send people to other gyms. Go try the other. I think you should go try the other gym. Similar. It's not the same.
People's experience and interactions and outcomes won't lie to them.
Right. All right. So we have Annie waiting.
She's on the line.
We should on the line.
She's here.
In Vancouver.
Can we bring her on
You want her in?
instantaneously?
Oh, we got her ready. 3, 2, 1.
Hi, Annie. I actually can't see you very well. There's a camera right in my face, but
Oh, sad,
sure.
sad day.
there you are. Hey. So how much of that did you hear?
All of it.
Fantastic.
Yikes.
What do you? How far back? Like all the way back to the beginning when we were talking about where you are in the world right now?
She was there
Yeah.
the whole time.
The whole time. All right.
I was laughing in the background.
So you're in Washington now. You're back from Mexico.
Yes. Yeah.
One of the things that I think is coolest about Annie is she just picks up and travels, which is
do.
super cool. 2 years ago was like what, a 30-week trip around the world?
2018 was a year abroad. And then 2020 we started. And then in April we had to book it home from Japan because the Rona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rona screws everything up.
That's interesting
Yeah,
because
it
that's
did.
also my mom's name.
It is.
And everything about what you guys were just saying felt very aligned.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's,
I'm just kidding. I love her. Hi,
Rona's
Mom.
great.
Agree?
Is Rona really your mom's name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
Rona's
right.
his mom's name.
Oh, this has been a long year for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Annie, what are your thoughts on the gym owner's responsibility to create career opportunities for the staff?
I'm on board with everything you guys say in regards to that. I think that it's more of a cultural issue with the entire industry. And that makes it difficult for, I think, the coach and the gym owner to go a different route than the industry as a whole.
What do you mean by that?
Well, just it's an expectation, I think, as a personal trainer, that you're going to work a lot of hours and not make a lot of money. That's like the expectation you come into personal training with. It's what I did anyway. But I thought I could make more money personal training than working as a college strength coach, which is why I went that route. But I think that it's pretty normal for gym owners to rent space. I'm talking more Globo gym. I guess I don't know how CrossFit works as much as a Globo gym.
Less.
But renting space and you get 30% of the pay or less. So people might be paying $75 a session, but you're making $15 an hour. That was like the expectation when I entered personal training. So I don't know how much of that has changed because I've been out of that for 5 to 6 years. But I imagine it's the same based on people coming to me to start their online business because they are dissatisfied with the experience in person. So,
Well, and that's kind of where I was going to take this is we've sent some of our clients or even people who've considered our course to your stuff instead because we felt like what they needed was less about the technical skills because they weren't looking to kind of service the kind of client that we've become really good at servicing. They wanted to continue servicing the kind of client they were already servicing and do a better job finding them, signing them up, charging them, keeping them as clients and delivering high level results. So I imagine that while you may not be familiar with what's going on in the commercial gym today, you are familiar with the people who that gym model is spitting out.
yeah.
Right. So when they come to you, how much belief breaking do you need to do?
Oh, I don't think much.
You don't need
People
to-
are coming to me knowing that they are dissatisfied with either the Globo gym / gym culture in general as a job, as a career path, and they're aware that that ceiling is higher in the online space. So, I mean, I don't feel like I have to do much on my end. I feel like they are aware of the problem that they have and I have the solution and they know that.
So there's an awareness. So all they need is their dissatisfaction, and there's a growing awareness that you're seeing that there's a higher financial ceiling in the online space, and those two things together are enough to drive people to you.
Yep. More time freedom, more financial opportunity.
How often do you find people coming in, despite the financial opportunity, underscore their ability to capitalize on it?
Elaborate. Give me an example of this person.
Well, when I was in person, I could only work with one person per hour or coach one class in an hour, and that was $20. Now, I can take like 50 people, and if I only charge them like $80, I make $4,000 a month. That's more than I ever made.
Yeah. Well, one, I think that people, so in Fitspro Foundations, I suggest most people start with one-on-one training online. I think that it's the most lucrative and that you learn the most from that experience. And then if you want to build out a membership or something like that, you've seen gaps and you've gained experience with enough one-on-one clients that you kind of know what type of membership you would build or what other offers you want to bring into that. I think that people still undercharge in the online space. That's something I constantly have to help people get past, I guess. So that's a barrier for sure. People think like, oh, $99 a month for online. That's reasonable because I charge that in person and I had to spend an hour with them. And it only takes me 1 hour to program for this person for an entire month. So $99 is a good deal. And we have to break that, as well as look at what value they're actually providing the person. What are the touch points? How often do they communicate? All of those things come into play. But I would say undercharging is a huge issue in the online space for people that come to me, as well as just, this doesn't necessarily answer your question, but a struggle for people coming into the online space is how to do what they did in person online. People really struggle with the ability to do that and the how behind being successful online, communicating. They can't, work on the fly with somebody in the gym. And so they have to figure out how to still give that same value in the online space and communicate well to their clients, which is a challenge of the online space.
How long does it take you to help them build out
their entire brand, their offer?
Just for them to feel the competency that they can actually do what it is that they signed up to do.
I would say that depends on the person completely. Some people come in really ready to do it. I do think the people who have more experience in person do better in the online space. I'm a I am not a supporter of you entering the online space if you have not trained people in person. It's invaluable, in my opinion. So I watched your interview with Joelle, and you guys were talking about training in person and everything that comes from that. And I just couldn't agree more that people need to train in person. And I heard something about how do they gain experience? If you're applying to work for another coach, how am I supposed to get the experience that they say I need if everyone's asking for me to have experience? And that's where I think that education piece is so valuable, because you do internships in college, and internships are where you are the bitch. You work for free, but you learn so much and you gain experience and you find what you like and what you don't like and what you're good at, what comes naturally to you. I don't know that people coming into the online space have done that kind of free labor that's required in the in-person space. Does that make sense?
Totally. And I think that for people listening to this, college is a stand-in for at the beginning of your career, because you could be 40 years old and want to get into this. And if you haven't done it for free yet, you haven't, effectively the doing it for free is the paying for the education in the experience world.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Question in the chat from Georgia.
Annie, Georgia wants to know if you have any tips on programming efficiently online and how many one-on-one clients you still work with.
I have 20 one-on-one clients currently. And I would say you will get more efficient the more you do it. So you're going to find certain things that work for a certain issue. And I do get asked a lot by people that feel bad if they've like pulled something from another person's program to put in this person's program. And my thing is like, does it fucking work? You're being paid to provide a solution to their problem. If you've used a solution over here that worked for Sally and it's also going to work for Jim, then fucking use it. Like, what's the big deal?
Do you have anything to add to that for Georgia?
No, I think if that's Georgia Chappelle, what's up, Georgia? No, I think that Annie nailed it. I think that.
What if it's not Georgia Chappelle?
Hey, Georgia. Good to meet you. If it's not Georgia Chappelle. No, I think that Annie nailed it. And I think that breaking ideas around all of the same kind of attention with the same kind of discovery and starting from scratch kind of thing that Annie was just talking about is it doesn't matter at all if you can provide someone a solution, like you were saying, for less time and energy that would be more effective.
Yeah.
Then I'd like to add to it. Have constructs, Georgia. So instead of creating the wheel every single time, fit the wheel to the vehicle. So what that means is, do you know that you have a pattern of, I want to do this many cycles of hinging, squatting, rotating, whatever have you? Great. That is now your checklist to make sure that you have a complete program. You don't need to write them all from scratch. You can put in your movement dynamics and then plug the exercise into the movement pattern that you want to use. That will speed your process every week. Simple things
like I have skeletons that are written in True Coach for different things. So just build out a skeleton and then obviously edit what you need to off of that.
Perfect. Georgia said, indeed, it is Georgia Chappelle.
Oh, good.
Outstanding. So, Annie, let's just say, the thing that I think that you are so uniquely good at, that I'm just going to ask Annie all the time. Or just go look at Annie's stuff because she doesn't need me to ask her. She's got enough stuff to do. Is you connect with your listener, your watcher, your follower in a way that I don't see anybody else doing as well. You put content on your Instagram that has nothing to do with fitness, and your fitness following is like, I totally get that. That's exactly me. How do you do that?
Honestly, I think that it's very attractive to other humans when humans are just themselves, when they're not trying to be anything other than what they are. That's very attractive. And I think that there's few things that are more unattractive than not like on a, I don't know, not on like a
You're screwed
relationship,
Annie Miller.
but just in general.
She's been canceled.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah,
hey, listen, your ride on Instagram was nice. You're now going to be shadow banned, and it's over.
Listen, I don't know if you have seen, Instagram told me when I was in Mexico that I needed to have my location on or they were going to suppress my content. And so I turned my location on and I was like, whatever. Well, it's been on for 2 weeks and I just got a notification. I posted it in my story before this show that they said we weren't able to locate your primary location. So we will not be showing your content to as many people. We're limiting your reach, I think is what it said. I was like, cool.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Really awesome.
Yeah, seriously. We should have probably had Annie on like 2 weeks when she can figure that shit out.
It's fine. But I think back to your, why that works is I just think that when you're willing to fully be yourself, people are going to find that attractive. And that's something I teach in Fitsbro because a lot of people are like, well, everybody teaches fitness and nutrition. So why would someone come to me? And if you're building a personal brand, which most people are that join my course, they are going to be the face of their brand. People are going to work directly with them. People are going to work with you because they like you at some point if you are building a personal brand.
What's really interesting about that is that
that's why we don't have a personal brand.
Right.
What you're demonstrating, Annie, is that being yourself, and so many people responding positively to it, people don't have to find immediate relatability to your situation, what you're describing in their life, as much as they have to literally just be drawn to the fact that you're being yourself. And that's good enough for them to want to work with you.
It's the authenticity, the actual really cool. Authenticity, for sure.
Living your truth, as I think they say these days.
Live your truth, Sean.
I'm sure someone once said that.
Mm-hmm. I think more than one person has said it more than one time.
Okay.
All right, getting back to you, Annie. One of the other things that I think you do really well that I would love for you to share, especially with the ladies who follow us, is you choose to lead with education, with value-adding content, instead of leading with boobs, ass, belly button.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have boobs, so that helps.
You can buy them. It's 2021. You can get them anywhere you want.
That is true.
Can we do that remote?
Yeah, I was aware when I came into the fitness industry the online industry in 2014, 2015, that I could easily, especially before the algorithm, build a business by exploiting my body. I definitely had the goods to make that happen. And I never wanted that to be a distraction. I wanted it to be very clear that I was there to educate and to provide value for them to do whatever they needed to do in the gym, regardless of what my personal training looked like or my body. I just talked about that on my podcast, that your body and your personal training as a trainer should not dictate your ability to be a coach, should not dictate the content that you're creating. Your content and everything you do in your business is for the clients. You should be able to do whatever it is with your aesthetics and your body and your training that you want to do separate from that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. So I talked about this a while back, and I'm curious to your take on it. I think what you're speaking to is, in some way, the idea that there isn't a body type that makes a coach. There isn't you have to have a six pack, you have to have a great triceps and a tight ass. Mm-hmm. That's not what makes a coach. What makes a coach is their ability to affect change for other people. At the same time, I believe if you look a way that is not the way that your clients would like to look, it does require you to elevate your ability to deliver a level then higher than maybe you would need to if you look differently. And that's, people might not like hearing that, but I think that it's an appropriate truth to share, which is there are obstacles for each person to overcome, and they vary based on who you are, what your education is, where you come from. If you're an overweight coach, you can still be a great coach. That is an obstacle to overcome.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I agree.
Cool.
I agree with that.
Comment.
I have a comment. Ashley Hartman says, your view on this made her feel seen.
My view on what made her feel seen?
Yeah, Ashley, specifically Annie's view on what made you feel seen. Curious, I'd love to see her type it into the chat. Has Ashley been a client of yours, do you know?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so Ashley, what did Annie do that made you feel seen? And Annie, why is it important that people feel seen?
Oh, that's like one of the humans want to feel understood, and they want to feel seen. That's like the basis of humanity. It's what drives us to have relationships.
What does it mean to be seen?
Well, so for me personally, speaking from a business standpoint, from a coach's standpoint, it's someone being willing to, one, listen and not offer advice. I think that's something really big that coaches tend to try and fix everything. In order for someone to feel seen, you just have to give them space to express where they're at and seek to understand where they're at. Putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, I guess, is the simplest way to say that. Mm-hmm. Being willing to do that.
Yeah. So Ashley said the look that you put out is what made her feel seen.
Yeah.
Showcasing your skills, not your body.
That was a thing literally since 2015. I mean, I've been getting messages, DMs about that since 2015, and it just kind of became a thing. And I do it on purpose. And I mean, I also recognize that like skin isn't inherently bad. I follow coaches who show a lot more skin than I do. And,
Let's do it. Let's take it off.
And provide a lot of value.
Not you.
But I also, there is no part of my fitness business that says that I am going to change your body aesthetically at all. I don't sell aesthetic changes.
Oh, wait, so let's talk about
at
that.
all.
Why would somebody buy fitness if not to change their aesthetic?
So many reasons.
I'm not asking because I don't know any of them. I'm asking because I want you to share them.
So, I mean, for me, I guess, so what do I sell? I sell joy in the gym. I sell enjoying your time in the gym. I sell feeling empowered in the gym. I sell efficacy. So I sell education. And I think that when people are educated on why they're being asked to do something, why would I have them do sets of 10 for back squats? Or why am I giving them a certain tempo? Or, you know, why might they feel lethargic in their luteal phase of their menstrual cycle while they're lifting? I think when people understand those things, they're more dedicated to the process. And I am a coach who focuses on long haul mentality. That's one of our values.
What does that mean?
Long haul mentality. Just that this is not an 8 or 12 week thing. I want you to lift weights literally until you die. That's the goal of my business, of the people that I work with. And in order for them to understand long haul mentality, there's going to be likely some level of injury on the way. Life is going to get lifey. You're going to have kids, or you're going to have life changes or transitions. And that is going to affect your training, and your training can also help enhance and get you through those situations as well.
So, okay. I just had this conversation with somebody over text a few minutes ago. They came off a really bad disc injury. Their doctor was like, you're allowed to go back to the gym, but you need to be careful and this and this. He's like, I think I want to sign up with one of your coaches for a month before I go back to CrossFit. I was like, really cool. I think you should plan on 9 months, and we'll keep you in good shape while you're working with us. He's like, you just blew my mind. I said, good. So, and that's 9 months to help him get out of the place he's in. Not even the long haul you're talking about. I'm fully on board with the same thing.
Yeah. I don't offer a program shorter than a year.
Well, I love joining the gym. I think that's cool. You don't offer a program shorter than a year. Tell me more. When you work with a one-on-one client. Well, so I want to ask you a problem that we have, and I want to hear what you would do about it.
Okay.
I'm going to lay down on the therapy couch. You ready?
Okay.
So we have a unique issue. Most of our one-on-one clients come to us because they've lost their joy in the gym because of aches, pains, chronic issues, whatever have you. Most of our clients stop working with us after about 8 months. And the number one reason that they get is, I got exactly what I wanted. I can go to the gym now without pain. I can play with my kids without pain. I don't think about the pain I used to have anymore. I don't need to continue doing this. And while in a lot of ways, I'm like, that's great. I'm really happy we solved that problem. Our pricing structure is not set up for us to be profitable when somebody leaves at the 8-month mark.
Got it.
What are your thoughts? How, like, do we extend that? Do we raise our prices? Do we only sell, like, what would you do there?
That is a unique problem.
I know.
Because you've solved their problem. They essentially got what they paid for. My business model is that you stay with me. Maybe I never open one-on-one spots again because I'm selling joy in the gym. They're going to continue coming back to me to write their programs for them. Someone could possibly just take their programs and, you know, repeat them over and over again. At some point you could repeat the cycle, but people don't. So my model is different than your model. Well, maybe I don't know if I have a solution for your model.
Well, but how do you bring someone joy in the gym?
Well, for one, it's a person who already has experienced joy in the gym. So my tagline is enjoy your lifts again, implying that this person at some point has enjoyed the gym. They were either a past athlete, maybe they did CrossFit and it was high intensity and they're looking to lower that intensity. There has been some experience that they did enjoy in the gym, and there has been a situation that they are now not enjoying that time. Maybe it's not having a program, so they aren't being as consistent as they could be. And then they feel guilt because they have been consistent before, right? And now they're not. So there must be something wrong. my program brings them joy in that they can trust it. They know that every single thing in their program has a purpose. So I'm not wasting their time. My ideal client hates to have their time wasted, which is why they wouldn't just buy a templated program, because they don't know that everything they're being asked to do has a reason and a purpose.
Want to be our chief joy officer?
I like that.
Chief Joy Officer.
I want you to be our chief joy officer.
CJO.
Chief Jewish officer?
No, joy. Why? That's 2 weeks in a row with a Jewish thing with you.
It's easy.
Last question for you, Annie.
Yeah.
The way that you entered the space,
Yeah.
to a lot of women, I think could possibly be intimidating, because you entered the space that typically men occupy in the online fitness world. Reps,
hate that
sets
narrative.
in the squat rack, like online, right? Like
Yeah.
reps, sets in the squat rack, banded exercises, stuff that comes across as if out of the athletic weight room in the college, probably because that's where you came from.
Correct.
Okay. So how did you at first overcome is this the space for me? Because it's not necessarily, I'm not worried about a woman overcoming the exact same thing as you. I'm speaking to the person who right now is like, I don't know what I would possibly bring to this space, and people are going to look at me like I can't provide in it.
Well, for me, I already knew that before I came in.
Knew what?
So that's where that in-person experience comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope that someone entering the online space already knows what they have to offer.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't suggest figuring it out in this space.
But what
You
if they,
can, for sure,
what if-
but it's
what if
going to
they
take
know-
a long time.
what if they know what they have to offer but feel like they're overshadowed by more qualified people in the space online?
I would say confidence comes through competence. Keep doing more of it and get confident in it.
Okay.
Maybe that's a shit answer, but
No, it's your
you're
answer.
not going to, for me, it's like, do you actually need another certification? What's going to make you feel more qualified? Is the question I would ask
everybody's
them.
education is incomplete without active life. So you should have imposter syndrome until you've taken our education, because you're an imposter.
Right,
Obviously.
that's what I'll tell them. You're a fraud until you take
Great
immersion.
tagline. We should go with that.
Yes, that's the tagline. Until you take an active life, you're a fraud.
Yep.
It's on the internet.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
think
true.
people feel imposter syndrome is going to happen at every single level of business of being a coach. So I always just push back with what's actually going to make you feel more qualified. Why do you not feel qualified? And what is the truth in that?
If
Share
had
what you know.
If you had
Go
10
ahead.
clients paying you $1,000 a month, would you feel like an imposter?
Depends. Andy, Georgia did ask, can you explain, before we wrap with you here, the stages and phases of your 1 year Built by Annie program?
Oh, yes and no. Not gonna give away all the goods. But I am working on a programming course right now to help coaches program long-term periodization and just feel more confident with programming, because I do think that it's something that people struggle with, and their lack of confidence in coaching often comes from their lack of ability and confidence with programming. So I would like to fill that gap, because it's something I enjoy doing. But I essentially, I guess I can tell her the way that I built it out was looking at my mesocycles, and I built it in a year cyclical matter, so that someone could, thinking long-term for business, right? Business model. I wanted Built by Annie to be something that someone could go through once and then literally go through again and make new gains and make new progress. That was the goal. So that is how I built that out. The 3 different Built by Annie programs that I have, there's 3 different tiers, are all different programming with a slightly different focus within that programming. So that's what I'll say about that.
Perfect. Thank
Plugs.
you. Anything you'd like to plug? Anything you'd like to share that is coming up? You're a launch person. When is your next launch?
I don't do live launches anymore for Fitspro Foundations, which is my business course. I have a free workshop, Your Biz, Your Way, 3 steps to build a profitable online health and fitness business. So if they would like to join that, they can go to anniemiller.co/workshop-register.
Is that evergreen or is that live?
Evergreen.
And then so they take that webinar or that workshop and then they decide they want to work with you further. It's open enrollment. So no more me sending people to you in January and you saying we're not launching again until June?
Yep. Send them to the workshop.
Outstanding. Clary, did you get that in there? Can you say?
I got it.
I don't see it.
I can text him the link too if I need to.
Yeah, send me the link.
All right. And he's going to send
Okay,
Clary the
I will.
link. And those of you watching who want to see that course, it'll be in the chat.
Perfect.
Annie, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Next time you travel to Europe, stop in New York on your way out.
I know. It's going to happen someday.
We'll get pizza. Unless you don't like
Perfect.
pizza, you probably don't eat pizza. We'll get something
I
else.
love pizza.
Okay.
We'll get
Why
pizza
would you
and a
assume she
beer.
doesn't like
please.
pizza?
I forget who it was.
Why?
Oh,
So judgy.
because I think it was Joelle was like, I don't eat that and I don't eat that. And I was like, all right, well, great.
Well, do you
Joelle
think
and
all women, female, like,
Let me mansplain it to you.
got it? Let me know.
Thanks, Annie.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
You can take your headpiece out.
That almost got into some real trouble there.
No,
Can you guys
but
stay
take
there
your
for a
headpiece
second?
out. What do you mean?
Are we ready to transition here?
Yeah, we're ready.
Well, I wasn't ready yet. You guys are talking.
Go. Please take the earpiece out. I can't look at
keeping
you.
it out.
You look ridiculous.
my left side.
Oh, you two. All right, we're on.
We switch cameras.
We've already switched.
Can we get rid of your attaché?
Just babbling.
All right. Thank you, Larry. All right. What we're going to do right now is I'm going to show you how word economy can help a member improve their movement without having to impress them with how many words you know. We're going to talk about why it's more valuable to use less words, and we're going to talk about why it's valuable for the member to do a few reps wrong so they can understand how to do those reps correctly. Please grab a barbell. Why don't you grab the one right there because it already has 10s on the side and you can pull it from the ground. Unless it's too heavy for you.
That was
There you
your
go.
front squat bar from last week.
Yeah.
This was his back squat bar from last week.
All right, put it on the ground. Let's move our box. By the way, if you're a gym owner, these are great boxes. I don't own the company, but it's called Rubox. The corners are nice and soft and cushy, so nobody's going to cut their shins and go to the hospital anymore, which is great.
Send me both now.
Did they? We should have bought them first. Tesla. All right, so Larry, let me see you go ahead and do a few deadlifts here.
You got it, bro.
All right, so when you're watching Larry do deadlifts like this, what you're obviously seeing, if you're looking for it, is he's not bending his knees at all. His back is totally rounded. He's staring down at the floor behind him. Okay, so let's stop there, Larry. As a coach, I want to avoid cueing all three of those things at the same time. Because if I do, it sounds something like this. Larry, next time you do this, I want you to keep your knees slightly bent, keep your back flat, and try to keep your eyes forward on a target about 6 feet in front of you. Got it? Okay, that's too many things. He's like, okay, knees bent, back flat, and you'll watch people do this. They will mechanize. So come into it and just show them what it would look like for someone to think through it and then do the actions. Right, perfect. So all of that thought, you can see how much thought goes into that. When I come over to Larry, the first thing I want to do is just say, come on up to the barbell, get your shins touching it. Perfect. Back up about a half an inch. That's where I want you to be. All I want you to do now is shoot your hips down, shoot your hips back, and grab the bar. Good. Now from there, bend your knees just a little bit and stand straight up. Do a few reps right there. Do 2 or 3 of them. Good. One more. And what do you feel when you did that?
Some hamstrings.
Some hamstrings. Great. So let's pretend that Larry didn't correct his back rounding when he did that. Let's do it again, but round your back again this time. So all we did right now was correct the knee position and the way the bar is situated underneath his hips. Okay. Great. So let's stop there. Larry, how did that feel compared to the first time?
Didn't quite feel as strong.
Okay, great. So how did your legs feel compared to last time? Just your legs.
It was about the same.
Okay, so now what we're going to flatten your back out. So go back down, grab the bar again. Just grab the bar. Good. Now all I want you to do, shoot your butt down a little bit more, chest up a little bit more, but a little higher. You're a little bit too low there. Now just stand straight up.
There it is.
Good. Do 3 more of those. Good. And how does that feel?
It's a little stronger.
Good. When you get to the top, I want you, one more time, let's do another one. When you get to the top, I want you to stand all the way up. Good. So come back down, all the way up, and just finish right there. Okay, that little inch of extra extension is going to take some load off of your spine.
Okay.
Okay, let's see 2 or 3 more. Beautiful. Perfect. we don't want to give Larry muscle groups, activate this, 3 cues at the same time. Correct one thing, make it the thing that is the most dangerous or the thing that would make it the easiest to improve the other things that are going wrong, and cue it with as few words as possible. Sometimes no words at all. If Larry was squatting, so let's have Larry front squat, come on over here, excuse me, air squat, air squat, air squat. If Larry was squatting, I'm going to show you how we could cue this with no words at all. Okay? Now, obviously, what I'm seeing is his chest is diving down. He's not getting as deep as I know he can. So what I'm going to do is, without words, I'm going to come over to Larry. Go ahead. Okay. Again.
That was a word.
That was a word, but not a cue on it. Good. Come on back up. Okay. Now, again. Good. Right? So all I'm doing is putting basic pressure, very, very light pressure in areas that I want Larry to move in a given direction. If I was cueing that with words, come on back in. Go ahead and squat. So first of all, let's set your feet up. Get your feet a little bit wider. Point your toes slightly out. That's perfect right there. Now all I want you to do is sit back as if you were sitting into a low chair. Great. Let me see you do 1 or 2 more of those. Okay. I'm letting him do 1 or 2 more because I want him to feel it. I want him to know what this feels like so that when he does this later on, he'll understand that's not what I was looking for. What I want you to do this time, Larry, is as you squat down, I just want you to bring your arms up. It's going to help to keep your torso vertical. Okay. Let's do 1 more. Okay, good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give Larry some support because he's starting to fall back. So we're going to give Larry a nice light weight all the way over here. As you squat down, Larry, I want you to press this weight out in front of you. It's going to be a counterbalance. It's going to keep your torso nice and tall. Go ahead. Good. And we see how Larry's position starts to improve from one cue to the next. He's even squatting deeper without me telling him to squat deeper. Now, let's say he wasn't squatting deeper. All I need to say is, can you go a little bit lower for me? Great. Come on back up. That's it. Keep it simple. No overcomplication. We never want to do things like go head on down. I want you to activate your quads at the start, turn your glutes on, and when we get about 2/3 of the way down, you're going to start to feel your hamstrings come on tension, and you're going to stand back up. That's why, right? So simple cues for simple movements, even simple cues for complex movements. The idea is less words, more value. Anything to add to that?
Good job.
Thank you. Let's take it back to the desk. If you have questions, start loading them up into the queue.
Let's take a walk with us.
All right. We don't have any questions. So we'll give you a moment. And if you don't come up with anything, typically Cleary throws this topic that gets us in trouble.
Yeah, we got to think about some hot takes today.
Some hot takes today.
If you're closing your brick and mortar, should you obviously go online?
If you're closing your brick and mortar, should you obviously go online? No. No. If you're closing your brick and mortar, it could be for one of a few reasons. It could be because you weren't running a proper business in the first place, which now means going online is just running a different business. It's not easier. It's not less expensive. I had someone the other day say to me, man, I envy you. No overhead. I was like, what? What do you? My overhead is now more per month than my income personally was total for a year just 3 years ago. So an online business does not mean a free business. It means delegating resources differently. So we had someone earlier today who successfully took his business online. He saw an opportunity. A bunch of people had purchased a bunch of equipment back in May, June, July of last year. because they wanted to train at home. They didn't know when they could be able to get back in their gym. So he started a gym online, and he Pelotonized CrossFit, if you will. It's still relatively small, but he's looking to grow it. And today we were talking about what would be the best thing for him. He was asking, should I take your foundations course? Should I take your pro path? My answer to both was no. You should take our seminar for 2 reasons. 1, you should learn the way that we deliver our education to our end user, because the user experience is I lost the word there. User experience is outstanding. And you want to be able to emulate that kind of user experience on the budget that we're operating on, not the budget that Peloton is operating on. Second, the education that we teach the coaches in that course would be valuable to you to be able to go from 1 to 500 people on a screen at the same time and make the workout better. So short answer, no. Long answer, figure out why you closed in the first place and avoid making that mistake again.
How do you compete as an online business now? Because everyone has an online business now. Like in fitness, blueprints.
Like how do we...
Like templates. Sure. How could how could another personal trainer fill the space of making template training businesses right now when you're competing with Apple at $9.99?
Yeah. I would say, I'm interested in your hot take on this also, but I would say this. You have an Instagram account, even though there are millions of people who have Instagram accounts. And still, people chose to follow you. They have millions of other choices. And there's a group of people who chose to follow you on Instagram, despite the fact that you haven't considered curating your content, you don't have a consistent message potentially, you're not even selling anything. So I think take that lesson and recognize that there are not that many people offering fitness advice out there. There's room for you. You're going to speak in a resonant way to somebody else.
And on the heels of Annie's point, I think that if you are going to do that, and that is a concern, that it absolutely behooves you to go all the way in on being all the way yourself, however regularly you're posting, whatever it is, so that people can experience the full depth and flavor of who you are and decide, I just like this person.
Yeah. I would love to pull up, do we have the capability of pulling up like one of my YouTube videos from way back?
Not right now.
Some audio tech team. He can
What video? What video?
Wow.
If you go to Sean Pastuch's YouTube channel,
I can't pull it from YouTube. I have to have the original video.
well then you
To
don't.
Sean's point, some AV crew.
Right. Really good work. It was really easy to find humiliating photos of me last
Well, I
week.
took them.
I know.
Right. It was much easier.
Right. Yeah, I took these videos. They were not very good.
They're very bad.
They were
They're
very
not very good. They're not very good. They're very bad.
If you go to YouTube and you type my name in, and you click on the channel, Sean Pastuch, the channel, you will find about 40 videos that are catastrophically bad. That should.
We're troubleshooting. We can make this work now.
Oh, now that he knows what. Yeah.
Okay. What's the channel?
Well,
Sean
the idea of
Pastuch.
how much he's going to enjoy you looking bad is enough to motivate him.
I know. That's all it takes.
You can just talk about yourself.
We have nothing to talk about.
Talk
Bring it up.
amongst yourselves.
What is it exactly you want me to be pulling up?
Any of the videos on that page that demonstrate my prowess.
Your YouTube page?
I have a YouTube page that was Sean
Why
Pastuch.
don't you explain to the audience what the purpose of them seeing this video is?
The purpose of you seeing this video is they sucked. They sucked. And you're still here watching this one. Which
This video kind of sucks.
this
too.
video doesn't suck.
Yeah.
So the idea is this is a live stream pumped through YouTube with a 2-camera setup, mics, and a lighting rig. A long way from me wearing a lav mic attached to my iPhone shooting into the light. That's what I'm getting at. And we got there from there to here by taking all the little incremental steps along the way consistently. It's consistent effort over a long period of time. You're not going to do all the right things right away. You have to start. Is that better?
I think you
Yeah,
took your
it's good.
channel down because I can't even find
I
it.
definitely didn't take my channel down.
I think that point hits home. I don't think people need to suffer through watching your thing.
Fine.
I'm just curious to do it now.
Yeah. If you were any good, you'd find it.
Dick.
Same.
Last thing, should gyms radically change now that they're reopened?
What do you mean by that?
Should they? Should gyms now just? I'm seeing some gyms being unbelievably excited about being 100% reopened, and everything is like back to full competition mode and all that, and where it's like send me a link.
Type Sean Pastuch channel into YouTube.
Sean Pastuch Active Life is what I
No,
typed in.
Sean Pastuch channel.
Sean Pastuch channel. Oh, okay, fine. Okay, fine. You win. It's coming up and on.
All right. So the answer to Sean's question is some gyms should change, some gyms shouldn't. If your business wasn't thriving before the pandemic, it's unlikely to thrive after the pandemic unless you change something. And that doesn't mean that you won't have a short-term gain where you're like, I made it, all these other gyms closed, all these members are coming to me now. They're still going to come to the model that you've been running that other members didn't stay at.
These look good.
Let's see what we got.
Let's see what we got here.
So make a demonstrate some movement screens. First, audio. Go over the front rack position. So I want you to grab a barbell, regular 45-pound barbell, bring it to the front rack position, let it sit on
Wow, look at that guy.
the front rack, right on my chest. Pinky around the bar. Don't let your fingers be free. This is not a 2 fingers in front.
Using
400 pounds. They can't hear me either. Fingers behind movement. Whole hand around the bar. Let the bar sit on your chest. Bring those elbows as high as you can. We want to see those triceps relatively parallel to the floor. And we're also going to see if they're the same height. Sometimes we'll see people who will come in.
The background. While
Was it?
The video was recording.
Was it?
Just because the gym was open and rocking. Oh, the office videos look real good.
The squat depth test.
What's
is
funny,
the best one.
eccentric ankle dorsiflexion.
Eccentric dorsiflexion is a great way to strengthen
This
the Achilles
has
tendon and also the calf
almost
muscles.
7,000 views on it.
So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. We're going to use, in this case, a
great
riser
job.
and a wall. Whatever you need to do to get yourself,
like a child.
4 to 6
I was
inches
a
off the
child.
floor, and also have your balance. Is what we're looking for. So you can use 2 45-pound plates on the ground next to.
This is also what
rig,
he's gonna look like
whatever
when he's
gets you
70 and
off
he's
the
trying to
ground.
remember where his
So
car
I'm standing up on both feet, using
Honey,
the
they
wall
were
for
right
balance.
here.
I have half my feet off the step, half my feet are on the
But
step.
but this stuff, no one was willing to do it.
I'm going to go ahead, stand on
Did you see him
both feet
swipe the cord
on my
away?
tippy toes.
It
using
looked
the
like
wall
he was
for
wafting
balance. I'm then going
gas.
to take my off leg.
Maybe I was.
This is going to be my
Oh,
left
so
leg.
is that wire
I'm gonna
running
work
all the
on
way back to your phone?
Yes.
My left leg comes off.
Which
We're gonna
somebody
go
for
ahead
this one is
and
obviously
slide
holding.
all the way down
Wasn't I under
until
your
that ankle
employee
is in
this time?
full
You told
dorsiflexion.
me you need to make
About a 3 or
X
4
number of
count.
videos to
If
show
you
me
go
that you're
back up, I
actually
put my
going to
second
do it,
foot
and
back
then I will
down.
start filming.
Your
Stand up
dorsiflexion
on
has improved
both.
dramatically.
Again, I'm
since
going
it's
to
There
lower down
also
just
was
on one side.
$0 in our business
For about a
at this
3 or
time
a
to
4
pay you
count.
from.
What did it all go to the shirt and
Continue
pants
to
fund?
repeat that for as
Yeah,
many
Lululemon.
steps. Excuse me, as many reps.
Let's see what else we got here. Anything else that you really like?
I mean-
Self-massage.
No, forget that one. It wasn't even that good. Like
Yeah,
if
because
you,
the other ones were killer.
Passive wrist extension.
no, but like if you go to whatchamacallit, if you go to the squat depth test, you'll see the worst of the worst.
Ooh, squat depth test. The lighting.
This is a real B&H customer story. Jack and Barbara, professional wildlife photographers and B&H.
Spending his time. You got pelvic rotation or the butt wink, right? The butt wink is when the pelvis rotates underneath the low back. We lose all our stability in our lumbar spine. You're gonna need a partner for this, and they're gonna kind of tell you when you start to lose integrity of your spine. So I'm gonna show you a little bit back from the side for a partner. Right here, I have 245s. You can stack it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10-pound plates. I'm gonna swap down to that weight. But so here's the thing. Despite the fact that those videos were low quality, the information in them was high quality. The information in those videos at the time was high quality. Still is. We still use a lot of that stuff. The way we've refined it. Yeah, we made it better. The way I delivered it sucked. You can do better today than I did then without any question at all. What are you waiting for?
By the way, us playing your YouTube channel did not help our viewership.
I bet. All right, Turn Pro.
Is that it? No plugs for anybody?
Nope.
No? All right. Bye.